How to make money flipping real estate contracts. Guys, in this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 strategies that I use to make money once you have these homes under contract. Now, all these 4 steps, these are ones that are dealing directly with cash buyers. But at the end of the day, if you miss one of these steps, you're missing out on a lot of money. All right, guys, number 1 is building a massive cash buyers list. This is crucial. You have to start with the end game in mind. Many people go out there and they just think about the deal. Many new beginners getting into it, they're like, I've got to find the deal, I've got to find the deal. And then you ask them, well, how big of a cash buyers list do you have? And they'll tell you, I don't have any cash buyers because I don't have any deals yet. So why would I need a cash buyer? Guys, this is not like the old adage, if you build it, they will come. This is something you've got to be thinking about in advance. You want to be able to have a big, massive cash buyers list so that when you come across those deals, you have plenty of people that raise their hand saying, yes, I want it. When you don't have this massive cash buyers list that is crucial for everyone to have, what ends up happening is I hear too many wholesalers having to cancel their contracts. And what happens is it starts to almost play a mind game with them. They start to think, oh man, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Or, oh man, I put this home under contract at the wrong price. And do I really understand the market? Do I really understand pricing? And they start to play these games on their mind and self-sabotage themselves to where they almost stop taking action. Now, because they don't have as many cash buyers on the list, it doesn't mean that they didn't have a deal. It doesn't mean that the contract they had wasn't great. It just means that there wasn't enough eyes on it. I have individuals that only rely on 5 buyers. Guys, that's crazy because if those 5 buyers are busy right now doing fix and flips, they may not buy it simply out of they can't handle another fix and flip at this time. Does it mean it's not a deal? No. It just means you don't have a cash buyer in your pool, in your list that wants it at this time. So it's crucial to build that beforehand. I don't want to see you guys canceling contracts. The secret to keeping contracts and fulfilling them and making money is to have that big cash buyers list. Now guys, after watching this video all the way through so you can learn all 4 of these steps, I have included a link down in the description that's gonna send you to the video where I literally show you step by step how to build that massive cash buyers list. Number 2, now that you have your cash buyers, right, and you have a contract, it's crucial that you understand that we're not selling homes and we're not marketing homes. We're marketing the contract. But you want to make sure that you market the contract at a price that gets a ton of people interested. Now, how do you do that? It's crucial that your verbiage on whenever you send out an offering to someone, that you don't say asking price and that sounds definitive. That just sounds like the first person that's willing to pay that price, come on over and buy it, it's yours. So instead of using that verbiage, just simply switch it to suggested starting price. And if you can keep that verbiage in place, now what you've produced is, let's say you got a home under contract at $100,000 and you know you're gonna make at least $25,000, so you know you're gonna sell that contract for at least $125,000. What I would do is send out the contract at $109,000. Why? So that I have a ton of cash buyers saying, oh man, I want this. And the way you can do it without sounding definitive is suggested starting price. Use this tip and you'll start to see that you're gonna get a ton of interest, a ton of activity, and you'll start to feed into tip number 3. And tip number 3, guys, is having 1 inspection period for all of your cash buyers. The biggest mistake I see new wholesalers doing in this market and in this economy and in wholesaling in general is that they push out like cash buyers will call them up and say, hey, I can go see it Thursday. Another cash buyer says, oh, I can't see it Thursday, I can see it Wednesday. And you start to let them do this. That's bad for 2 reasons. The first one is the homeowner that you put the home under contract with is gonna be frustrated that there's always just people stopping by. Remember, that's one of the big reasons why they're going with you, is they don't want to do the traditional listing where they have to do showings and showings and showings and showings. They went with you because of the speed and convenience, the ease of doing business with you, so that you want to just do 1 inspection period. So if you have 10 cash buyers interested, you want them to go all out at the same time to inspect the property at the same time. The second reason behind that is it starts that feeding frenzy. That's the biggest thing I learned from this over the years, is you never want just 1 cash buyer out looking at your deal. You suggest it at a price that gets a lot interested, but when they're out there, they start to think, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people out here. It's not going to go for 109, so we better submit a better offer. And they already start to drive the price up. And you'll start to see it not going like bidding wars like an auction. We never do that with our cash buyers. But you start to see people submitting above asking price for this. And sometimes it'll drive even higher than what we originally thought. When we thought we'd make 20 or 25,000, we've made 30, 35, or even 40,000. Why? Because we have a ton of people out there and it begins that feeding frenzy. That's a beautiful thing to have. Before I give you guys the last tip, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell so it alerts you when we have fresh new content put out. And let's get right into tip number 4. Tip number 4, slow down and wait for all offers to come in. Now, it sounds simple. This is common sense, but common sense isn't always common practice. Most entrepreneurs, they're always about speed, right? We hear that time kills all deals. But what happens is we start to speed through the process and we don't wait for all the offers to come in, and we end up taking someone's offer and then come to find out hours later or a day later, there's someone that was willing to pay more for that deal. So what do we do here? The first thing necessary to do is call every one of your cash buyers, especially at the beginning stages. If you've never done a deal before, it's always good to have that contact, right? Everyone says it takes 5 to 12 touches before someone does business with you. Every one of these calls, every one of these texts is a touch. So it never hurts to call every one of your cash buyers. Now, what do you do when you're on the phone with these cash buyers? As you're talking to them on the phone, the biggest thing is finding out what they thought of the property. So if you had 10 people go out, you're gonna ask them, so how was it? Get their feedback. And they may tell you, yep, I'm interested, I'm putting together a number. And to the opposite, they may tell you, you know what, I just don't know if I have interest in this one. Don't give up. Don't get off the phone at this point. This is a crucial part to have a conversation with them and make sure you address the elephant in the room and find out why they're not interested. So Bill, tell me, what is it that doesn't interest you about it? Well, I just think the numbers are off. I just don't think there's enough money to be made. In fact, I think it's going to cost a lot more in rehab than what I originally thought it was, and I just don't know if there's enough money in it. Okay, so Bill, tell me this. It sounds like you may not be interested in it, but at what price would you be interested in? And get that number from them. Because you may find out that their offer is just a little bit off, but still allows you to make money. But if their number is also at the price that you put under contract or lower, now you at least know a price that if there's no other cash buyers interested, at least you know their prices at what they're interested in case you need to go back to the seller and renegotiate a contract. So crucial. Call your cash buyers, know if they are interested or not, and if they're not, find out at what price are they interested so you can renegotiate if you have to. All right, let's give you a pro tip here. Something that I call asking for the highest and best. Now, as you're waiting, you're going slow, right? You're waiting for all offers to come in. As people start submitting, they're gonna be calling you. Hey, here's my offer. How am I sitting? How does it look? Now, the big thing is keep your integrity. You would never want a seller, if you're under contract with a seller, and a seller says, well, this guy gave me an offer for 140. If you give me 141, I'll just go with you. That would make you mad as a wholesaler. So on the back end, don't do that to your cash buyers, where if someone says, hey, I'll give you 120, and then you talk to another cash buyer and say, well, I've already got 120. Can you give me 121? No, you will get blacklisted, and they will never want to do business with you ever again. So what do? You just simply keep them quiet and let them know that you work with integrity. So when they call and say, hey, where do I need to be? Hey, Bill, I appreciate your interest in this, but I love each one of you the same. I can't divulge where you need to be. All I'm simply asking for you to simply submit your highest and best, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. And that's it. You don't need to divulge where they're at, and then wait. And what you'll find out is they're okay with that. And they submit it, but they respect you more because now they know you're also not going behind their back sharing their numbers. So this is crucial. Every cash buyer, when they submit an offer, take a second longer and send them a text or call them and say, hey, there's a lot of interest on this property. Is this your highest and best? And if they say, well, I don't know, okay, well, think about it. And then just submit me your highest and best before X amount of time. And what you'll find out is it will start to extend how much you make on each deal. Hope you enjoyed this pro tip. Hey guys, I want to give you a free gift to my real estate negotiation crash course where I go over the top 5 negotiation strategies that will help you not sound like a newbie, but ultimately sound like a pro so you can get out there right now, even as a beginner, and close your first deal in as little as 30 days. So go ahead and click that link in the description down below, and I'll see each one of you guys in that training.